Good evening. Welcome to this episode of the Live on Air Sports Show. I'm your host, Unc from the 90s, aka him. Today we're going to be talking about the CCFL and the upcoming draft. There's a lot of new talent. There's a lot of things going on in the league that have a lot of moving parts, and I think it's time that we get some of these things out there for the people that don't know. We're going to start off with the new structure of the league. There's now 10 teams per division. Division 1 is still the top tier, the top of the top, the best, the cream of the crop. That's not going to change anytime soon. These are the teams that have been battle proven, that have shown that they are here to stay and that they are the best of the best in the world. Division 2 is also full of dangerous teams and rising talent and squads that are just trying to prove they belong in that top tier as well. And then Division 3 is still the developmental side of things, but that does not mean it should be ignored. That's where dynasties begin. That's where talent is shown to be true talent, and that's where people start making noise. The playoff format has changed as well. There's going to be 6 teams in each division make the playoffs now instead of just the top 4. And the number 1 team in each conference gets a first round bye, and the next best records fill out the wild card spots. So right away, every game matters more, every roster move matters more, and this draft actually means a lot because it could mean the difference between, like, hey, are you getting that player that you need to take y'all to the next level, or are y'all just going to be getting somebody that can, fill in for those people, for those starters that sometimes might have life going on, and they can just, somebody that's reliable that can step in and fill that spot. Now let's talk about the divisions, because pressure is everywhere this season. In Division 1, the Dynasty Conference, it's made up of Flight, Pittsburgh Knights, Tri-State Devils, Cleveland Raiders, and the Magic City Misfits. Over in the Legacy Conference, you got Orlando Cyclones, Bay Area Inferno, Louisville Locks, Twin City Phantoms, and Honolulu Pirates. And that's all of Division 1, and it's filled with nothing but heat. That's where from top to bottom, is filled with the best of the best. And this is where reputations get tested, because guys that are contenders, who can have the opportunity to prove that they can finish, and teams that are moving up find out real quick whether they actually belong. Teams like contenders like the Devils, they've been playing very well every season, but it seems like since 2026 they really haven't been able to get over that hump. They get right there and then they lose, and we want to see if we can if those guys can pull it out this season. We're going to keep a close eye on the Devils. And speaking of getting to the championship, I'm going to give a shout out to Flight, the Chicago Flight, one of the most consistent put together teams. They've been together pretty much their whole roster has been together since day one. So I just want to say that it's appreciated when we see things like that, because a lot of teams had moving pieces over time, and people leaving teams and trying to go find greener pastures in other places. But a lot of the players from the Chicago Flight have really stuck together and shown that they want to make things work. Moving on, though, in Division 2, the Titan Conference features Atlanta Most Hated, LA Bully Ball, Houston Underdogs, Highland Hellcats, and Oakland Longhorns. And in the other conference of Division 2, you have the Empire Conference, and it has Austin Almighty, who just got relegated after a rough season right after winning the championship, the New England Blackhawks, who battled with Atlanta Most Hated in the D3 championship to get promoted, the Philly Bombers, Washington Reapers, and Tampa Tritons. The Division 2 might honestly be one of the most unpredictable groups in the whole league. There's enough talent there for things to get dangerous real fast. And a lot of those teams feel like they are 1 or 2 pieces away from making real noise. Or they're already making noise and they might have to show that it wasn't just a D3 noise and it's now, hey, this isn't just a little bit of noise. We really are like that. Moving on, then we have Division 3. The Pinnacle Conference has Virginia Warriors, newcomers, Colorado Vikings, East Bay Stompers, another new team. Milwaukee Mambas, another new team. And the Jacksonville Vipers, also a new team. And in the Immortal Conference, we have the New York Guardians, the Sin City Hitmen, who have been around for a while. They've fallen from Division 2 into Division 3. And hopefully these guys get out of Division 3 and make their way back into Division 2. The Baltimore Kingsmen, Detroit City Buffs, who also fell from, if I'm not mistaken, they fell from D1 to D2 and now D3. And the newcomers, New Orleans Animals. Division 3 is still the foundation level, but it matters because that's where a lot of players are trying to prove themselves and force their way into the bigger conversation. And then there's those teams like the teams that have relegated that are trying to show like, hey, they might be down here just rebuilding and trying to find themselves again. And this might be the place that they need to do it to beat up on some new talent and try to figure out those schemes that need polishing. Now let's get into the names to watch in this draft because there's some real storylines here. First up, we have one of my guys from AA, Lash Money. That is one of the biggest names in the draft class. Former champion with Austin Almighty, elite receiver, member of Airborne Academy, as I said, and he brings production, experience, and credibility. That's the kind of player who can immediately change the ceiling of an offense. The next person on the list is I'm That Matt, and he may be the biggest wild card in the whole draft. This is a quarterback who used to be considered elite in the early days of the CCFL, but now he's back after a long hiatus, so the question becomes simple. Does he still have it? Can he still lead a high-level team? Or are teams about to draft the memory of who he used to be instead of who he is right now? Because Matt, we all know, was like that. He couldn't beat Mummy, but that might have been because he didn't have the right pieces around him. Maybe he can get drafted to a team that has the right pieces, and although Bummy isn't in the league, but now he can be an elite level quarterback and get a championship under his belt, maybe in D3 and then eventually D2, and might bring his team back to D1. We'll see. Another major name, a league favorite. I think a lot of people like this guy. GVO Razor 71 Ramon. Once seen as the pride of the Knights, now he's looking for a new home. Whenever a player with that level of respect and reputation is on the move, people are going to pay attention. People are going to be looking out for you. Then there's one of my favorite guys in the whole community, Quiet Boogie. And he's one of my favorite people because he doesn't really talk. And he's also one of the most complete players in this class. He's an elite receiver, viable cornerback, silent assassin type player. That's the kind of guy who fits with a strong D1 or D2 team immediately. He's one of those guys that's going to do the dirty work and give you whatever your team needs. He'll give it to you. So even if you need him to play line, but I wouldn't put a guy like Quiet Boogie in the line. I think he deserves to be at skill at receiver and show y'all, and he'll show you why once you put him on the field. Another great player, vet player on the list, PJ Blessed 216 is another one. Elite receiver, elite cornerback ability, versatile, and he really can impact both sides. And he's always very positive in the locker room. I had the pleasure of playing with him when I first got with the Misfits. Also, a name that a lot of y'all haven't seen in a while. Lockdown Turnt is a veteran returning to the league. And when veterans with that kind of name come back, somebody's going to take that chance. Again, we don't know if Turnt still has what it takes. We don't know if he's still elite. But we're going to find out. What you going to see in this draft? More names that are on the list. We have I Strapped You, Von D. Both players that bring enough intrigue for a team to take a serious look at them. I've seen both of them perform very well. If I'm not mistaken, Von D played for Bully Ball, and he did pretty good for them. And now we're going to get to probably one of the most interesting personalities in the draft. Just Be Nerdy. He's a lineman, which automatically gives him value because the league badly needs line help. But he's also been pretty bold about who he wants to play for, basically making it known that if you're not elite or not a contender, don't draft him. I respect the confidence. I do. I think that more players should talk to coaches and interview with coaches so they know whether these guys will be a fit. But this dude came out and straight said, I want to go to the best of the best. And like I said, confidence and fit are two different things. Some teams may like the edge. Others may say it's more trouble than it's worth. And when you come in that hot like that and you say it, you don't say your words carefully, it tends to make you look like a problem. And really that brings me to one of the biggest truths about this whole class. There's too many skill players. Not enough linemen and quarterbacks without egos. And when I say quarterbacks without egos, I mean quarterbacks that don't think they know it all, that can be coachable, and that can take constructive criticism. There's too many divas out here. That's coming from somebody that is a wide receiver and can be considered a diva. There's too many out here. And there's too many people out here with egos that think, oh, I'm just gonna come out here and I'm gonna be starting immediately, or I'm gonna be that guy immediately. I'm the best wide receiver in the CCFL. I'm the best cornerback in the CCFL. I'm the best this and the best that. You're nothing, pal. You're nothing. No one knows you. You don't even have a name yet. You're just a guy that signed up for the draft. Come in, humble yourself. Get a season up under you at least before you start popping it like you're the best thing that ever touched the gridiron. I think that's fair. You know, back when we first came in, we just had the tournaments. So you really kind of had to pop it to be able to get like people to even look your way. But now, like with consistent like games going in the league, you really don't have to do that. Your game will do the talking for you. Prime example, Twitch Pecan. This man, I don't think I've ever spoken to him ever. I think maybe one time, which was after he lost in the D3 championship. And I told him, hey, we'd love to have you at AA. That's the first time I have ever heard that man speak. Never heard him in the Discord popping it, talking about he was the best receiver. No, he let his game talk. And it's loud. His game is real loud. So a lot of y'all out here, you could stand to take a little bit of that humble pie that he has. Now let's shift over to the biggest headlines heading into season 8. First, Chicago Flight. They are the reigning champs, and because of that, they are the team everybody's going to be hunting. They are led by quarterback Pigeon and wide receiver KJ2 Real. They still look elite. But at the same time, they are missing important pieces. Mark the Reaper and Floto. And those kinds of losses can matter, especially in the trenches. So yes, Flight is still the team to beat, but they are absolutely going to have a target on their back every single week. This is an opportunity for everyone in D1 to try to knock them off their high horse. Then we look at the Tri-State Devils. Ray, aka the CEO, aka the boss man, and the Devils have been contenders for a while now. But the one thing hanging over them is simple. They haven't turned that talent into a championship recently. And I say recently because they have won one, but not recently. That makes this season feel bigger for them. The pressure's real, but they definitely have the pieces. They got Pat, probably top 3 running backs in the league. And they've got an elite line with Vote for Clutchness, Mosky, and Slickwick. Arguably the best line in the league, offense and defense. I think they don't get as much love as because there's a lot of haters out here for Ray, and they get a lot of disrespect because of that. But that line is the type of foundation that can let you control games and physically wear people down. So for the Devils, it is not really about whether they have the talent. It is about whether they can finally turn that talent into a title run and actually win the title, because we've seen them in the championship. We haven't been seeing them win. Then there's my team, the Magic City Misfits. they're going to be one of the most watched teams in the whole league. They're back in Division One after spending time in D2. They've got veteran quarterback Pharaoh the God. They've got leadership with Gucci, the Goblin, and they've got identity. But losing me this season to IR changes things and puts even more pressure on the rest of the team. How they respond is going to say a lot. Whether they truly belong back at the highest level. I don't think losing me will be a big issue. Will it be something that people think? Of course. Is that going to be the reality that they live? I don't think so. I think with Cozy, if Russ Bus returns, and we still have great guys like Henny, C4, Mangoes, and the rest of our linemen, Demi, Vita, Henny. I hope I'm not missing anybody. But our team is pretty solid, and I think depending on who we draft, this team will still be in D1 when I return. Moving on, you've also got we got to talk about the Cleveland Raiders and the Louisville Locks, two teams that both lost in the D2 playoffs, but benefited from the league restructuring, and they found themselves in D1 this season. So now the question becomes, can they actually prove they belong? Because once you get to Division 1, nobody cares how you got there. You either belong or you get exposed. And my team's in Division 1 with you, so I'm rooting on y'all getting exposed, respectfully. But I wish y'all the best. You know, at the end of the day, it's competition, and my team is still out there. And you got to remember, D1 has the best talent. They still have the Devils out there, them scary Devils. They still got Flight taking off. They still got, who else they got? Yeah. Oh, them Cyclones. Yeah. They still got them Cyclones. But let's take another trip on down to D2, where Atlanta Most Hated has found themselves, and they enter season 8 with a lot of momentum after going undefeated and winning the D3 championship in the first season. I think this might be the first undefeated season in all of CCFL history, other than, oh yeah, that's right, when Most Hated won it in the beginning. That's right, they've done this before, so this is just repeating history. Now let's see if this impressive start continues in Division 2, where there's more talent, there's more dangerous teams out there, and there's people out there who are pretty seasoned and know how to stop a great running game like Atlanta Most Hated with Fuego and Wash Sosa. So let's see, because I'm a believer in Most Hated. I never bet against Most Hated. Thank God I'm not in D2 to test it out. And eventually, they're going to be back in Division 1. So what does all this really mean? It means that the draft is going to be adding players, and it's going to really, these new players are going to come in with roles that some of them might not like. And these players are going to have to come in and be team players if they want to stay in the CCFL. Because there's a lot of people that say, oh, I'll do whatever it takes, and then you get put online and you don't want to be a team player anymore because you can never see yourself in real life playing line. And it's like, oh man, I don't play line in real life. Why would I play on the line and on the game? Well, sometimes that's what you got to do if you want to win. There's players that I've spoken to that were on Most Hated. They never played the line before. Guess what? They got a championship under their belt now, though. So it's going to take a lot of humbling to get some wins up under you, and to be able to do what it takes to get to that next level. It's going to require you to humble yourself. We're going to end there, and I just want to put it out there before I go. I'm also looking to do interviews. So if you are an upcoming player, an elite player, a veteran, part of a team, or even a commissioner, and you want to talk league business, you want to talk about football, you want to tell your story, or you want to speak on what's going on, DM me directly and schedule a time. I'm also looking for news to report on around the league. So if there's anything going on and you want me to cover it, send it my way. I'll make a video, I'll make an article, I'll do something. But just send me the information, send me the details, DM me, and we can talk. Also, I'll be doing Game of the Week commentary live on my TikTok, and doing post-game interviews. So stay tuned for that. And if you want me to cover your game, if you want me to do live commentary of your game, I will have people in the studio with me doing commentary. So it just depends on what game is on. Let me know, and we'll come over and we'll do a live commentary on your game, and we'll even do breakdowns of plays. And for interviews, I do require that you have a working camera for video chat, so that way we can have an actual face-to-face conversation. And I want people to be able to see your reactions and to my questions, or I want to see the truth or lies in your answers. So yes, I do need you to have a camera. But other than that, until next time, this is the Live on Air Sports Show. Please stay tuned. There's more to come.